Air travel is about to change in a way that could cost you $75 or more if you step into the airport without knowing this. And here's the scary part. Most travelers won't see it coming. The signs won't be obvious. The rules won't look new. But suddenly at the gate, your bag gets flagged. You're told to step aside. A fee appears out of nowhere. Or worse, your carry-on is taken from you, checked against your will, or you're told you can't board yet. Airlines say nothing has really changed. That's only technically true. On paper, the carry-on rules look the same as last year. Same sizes, same limits, same promises. But behind the scenes, enforcement has shifted in a big way. New systems, new checks, and far less patience at the gate. The good news? If you understand how this new system actually works, you can avoid every single trap they've set and fly without paying extra. But what if you could walk right past the gate without a single fee? Let's get into it. Here's what airlines aren't advertising loudly in 2026. The official carry-on size limits didn't really change. Same numbers, same charts on the website. That's why so many travelers think they're safe. But the way those rules are enforced is completely different now. Airlines have quietly moved away from human judgment and handed control to technology. Digital boarding passes don't just scan your seat anymore. They're now tied to systems that track how many items you're bringing, what type they are, and whether they match what you're allowed. Gate agents aren't guessing or eyeballing anymore. Their screen tells them who's over the limit before the passenger even reaches the podium. And it doesn't stop there. Visual checks and automated scanners are now standard during boarding. Cameras and sensors analyze shape, volume, and how bulky your bag looks in real time. If something seems off, too tall, too boxy, too stuffed, the system flags it instantly. No conversation needed, no warning. You're already marked. That's why people are getting stopped even when their bag fit last year. It's not about squeezing into the bin anymore. It's about how your bag appears to the system watching you walk up the jet bridge. So you might think your bag is fine, until it suddenly isn't. On paper, the carry-on size rule still looks familiar, roughly 22 by 14 by 9 inches. Airlines haven't moved those numbers much at all. That's why so many people feel confident rolling through the airport with the same bag they've used for years. But here's the catch. In 2026, everything counts now. Not just the main shell of your bag, but the wheels, the handles, the pockets, and even small bulges from overpacking. A huge number of carry-ons sold as airline-approved quietly break the rules once they're fully packed. Add a thick handle, slightly oversized wheels, a front pocket stuffed just a bit too much. Suddenly, that bag is no longer compliant when measured properly. Travelers are finding out the hard way, right at the gate. And forget the old metal sizing boxes. Airlines are moving away from them. New scanners and camera systems measure your bag automatically as you walk by. There's no squeezing it in, no forcing the zipper closed. The system sees the full shape and volume in seconds and decides whether your bag passes. Your favorite carry-on could be too big, even if it fits the bin. And that's just the beginning. So weight limits are back, especially if you're flying internationally. If you mostly fly within the United States, weight might not be something you think about. US airlines care far more about how big your bag looks than how heavy it is. But, step onto an international flight in 2026, especially in Europe or Asia, and the rules change fast. Many international airlines have fully brought back strict carry-on weight limits. We're talking 7 kilograms on some carriers, 10 kilograms on others. That doesn't sound like much until you realize a laptop alone can eat up a huge chunk of that allowance. And unlike the past, these limits aren't just checked at the counter anymore. More airlines are weighing carry-ons at the gate when it's honestly too late to reorganize or switch bags. If your carry-on is over the limit, you're forced to check it and pay the fee right there, with no alternatives, no mercy, no last-minute repacking on the floor. This is catching travelers completely off guard, especially on return flights. A bag that passed outbound might suddenly fail on the way home because the partner airline follows stricter rules. That's where the real money trap is hiding. Once you know where they're checking, you can plan your packing smart. Now, this is where the 2026 crackdown hits hardest, and where most travelers get caught. Personal items are no longer loosely defined. Airlines now expect them to fully fit under the seat in front of you, completely. No sticking up, no straps hanging out, no corners poking forward into leg space. That tote bag with structure? Counted. Your laptop bag? Counted. Backpack, sling, crossbody, even a fanny pack worn on your chest? If it's visible, it's being counted as an item. Airlines have stopped accepting creative labeling like travel pillow or small accessory. If it looks like a bag, the system treats it like one. What's surprising in 2026 is how strict this has become during boarding. Gate agents are no longer deciding case by case. They're following what the screen tells them. If your personal item doesn't compress flat under the seat or looks bulky from the side, it gets flagged. That's when the fee conversation starts. Many travelers assume the carry-on is the problem. In reality, it's usually the personal item that pushes them over the limit without them realizing it. And honestly, this is where most people trip up. In 2026, the smartest carry-on choice isn't about style or brand anymore. It's about how your bag looks to the technology watching you. And this is where many travelers make the wrong call without realizing it. Soft-sided, compressible bags are winning, and it's not even close. Flexible fabric, rounded edges, and the ability to squish slightly under pressure make these bags far less likely to trigger scanner alerts. Even when they're packed full, they don't scream oversized to automated systems. Hard-shell bags, on the other hand, are becoming a liability. Sharp edges, rigid walls, and raised corners make them look bigger than they actually are. To a digital scanner, a boxy bag appears maxed out, even if it technically fits the listed dimensions. That visual bulk alone is enough to get it flagged. This is why travelers with identical size limits are having completely different experiences at the gate. One walks through untouched, the other gets stopped. The difference isn't inches, it's shape, texture, and flexibility. It's not about size alone, it's about shape and how tech sees it. Now let's talk packing hacks that save money. If you want to stay ahead of bag fees in 2026, how you pack honestly matters more than what you pack. The biggest mistake travelers make is putting heavy items in the wrong bag. Here's the quiet trick airlines don't advertise. When weight limits are enforced, it's usually the carry-on that gets weighed, not the personal item. That means your laptop, camera gear, batteries, chargers, and even heavy shoes are safer in your personal item. Most airlines don't put that bag on the scale, even internationally. Your carry-on should be light, soft, and easy to compress. Clothes, thin layers, and items that squish are honestly perfect. The goal isn't to max out space, it's to make the bag look effortless. A bulging carry-on is like a magnet for extra checks. And then there's the oldest trick that still works. Wear your weight. Hoodies, jackets with deep pockets, and your heaviest shoes can all go on your body. Security doesn't care how many layers you're wearing. Once you're on board, you can just take everything off and stash it. Because sometimes, rules aren't enforced evenly. Okay, here's something most travelers never really think about, but honestly, it matters more than ever in 2026 how you look while boarding. Gate agents don't stop everyone, they stop the people who stand out. So, walk with confidence, roll your bag smoothly, don't juggle a bunch of items, shift straps, or keep checking your luggage like you're worried it won't pass. That kind of fidgeting draws attention fast. The calmer and more controlled you appear, the less likely you are to get pulled aside. Timing matters too. Boarding early is actually one of the simplest ways to avoid problems. Early in the process, bins are empty and agents aren't under pressure. Late boarding is when stress peaks and enforcement tightens. That's when they really start hunting for delays and oversized bags. Your personal item placement is another quiet signal. Keep it low, tucked behind your leg or worn flat against your back. Carrying it in front of you makes it look bigger than it is. The scanners and the human eye both notice that. Your posture may actually save you from a fee, and if they still try to charge you, don't fidget, board early, and keep it low. Even with perfect prep, sometimes you just get unlucky. If you're flagged at the gate, the most important thing is this: stay calm. Frustration or panic only makes the situation worse and gives agents a reason to move faster against you. Politely ask a simple question. Can you show me the official size checker so I can confirm? You'd be surprised how often there isn't one nearby. In many cases, if they can't immediately verify the size, the conversation slows down, and that alone can work in your favor. If they do measure your bag and it's close, act fast. Unzip any expansion panels. Remove a bulky hoodie or jacket. Flatten the top and sides. Most bags only fail because of shape, not length or width. A few seconds of repacking can change the outcome completely. And don't forget what you paid for. If your ticket includes a free checked bag, especially on international flights, politely remind them. Many travelers pay fees they never actually owed. Handled the right way, this moment can still end in your favor. Now let's zoom out. Stay calm, ask politely, and remember, shape is more important than size. Carry-on rules aren't the only thing shifting in 2026. The entire travel experience is quietly evolving, and a lot of it depends on where you fly. Real ID enforcement is now fully in effect, but digital ID adoption is, well, pretty uneven. Some airports accept mobile driver's licenses stored in your phone. Others don't. Scanners fail. Systems glitch. And if your digital ID doesn't scan, you're sent back in line. That's why even the TSA still recommends carrying a physical ID as backup. Then there's the rule everyone keeps saying is gone. The 311 liquids rule is still very real. You're still limited to small containers in a clear quart-size bag. What changed is the technology. Some airports now use advanced scanners that let you leave liquids and laptops inside your bag, but many airports don't. Unless you know for sure, it's smart to pack like the rule still applies. Behind the scenes, airlines and governments are also testing biometric boarding and digital travel credentials. Facial scans, phone-based passports, and touchless boarding are already rolling out in select airports. These aren't just bag rules, travel itself is evolving. Real ID, liquids still apply, and biometric boarding are all things to keep in mind. So here's the takeaway for 2026. The carry-on rules didn't suddenly explode, but enforcement did. Technology is watching. Personal items are under pressure. Weight limits are back internationally, and the smallest packing mistake can now cost real money at the gate. But if you choose the right bag, pack smart, board early, and stay calm, you can avoid nearly all of it. Most travelers will learn these lessons the hard way. You won't. If this video helped you travel smarter and save money, hit like so more people see it. Subscribe for clear, no-nonsense travel updates that actually matter. And share this with anyone flying in 2026, especially the friend who always overpacks. Because travel rules will keep changing, and we'll keep breaking them down so you stay one step ahead. Fly smarter in 2026, avoid bag fees, and stay one step ahead.